What's up, YouTube? On my way to work again, shooting a little video for you guys. Hopefully the wind is not going to be too bad. One of the days I picked up a lot of wind, and it's just where I have my mic. It's up front in my chin guard area. But hopefully today will be good. Down here. So I've been watching a lot of those videos on YouTube of the moto stars, basically the guys who compile a bunch of motorcycle accident videos and angry drivers and things like that. I watch those from time to time. Lately I've been watching quite a bit. I think it does two things. First of all, it kind of prepares you more for being a defensive driver and watching out for, what cars can do around you. It also kind of depresses you. Just makes you realize how unsafe we are, and makes you realize how easy it is to get into an accident and, not be able to avoid the craziness that goes on every day out here on the road. So yesterday I rode, and I actually filmed it, and I didn't really have anything to say. I didn't feel like talking. I was just kind of depressed, even while riding, just because of the calamity that goes on and the fact that I'd watched so many of those videos the night before. But it's a good thing because, like I said, it trains you to watch every car and just watch what they're doing and watch their wheels, watch their intent. So that's all I got to say about that, really. I just wanted to bring it up. I already have a pretty good eye for driver intent. I did spend a lot of years racing cars, actually, and picked up a lot of ability to watch a vehicle's balance and a vehicle's demeanor and relate that to what the driver's inputs are. So a lot of the time you can tell when a driver's getting ready to pull over on you, or getting ready to cut you off, or gonna have to brake very quickly. You can watch the cars around that driver, you can watch the cars up front and say, oh, he's going too fast for this next stop, he's gonna have to slam on the brakes, so I gotta be ready for that. Things like that, the direction of the wheels, the way the car lifts up when they accelerate. You can see that a lot of times before you really see the car moving. So things like that are things that will help you in your daily journey and help you to stay safe. And I'm not an expert on any of this, so that's just my opinion and my knowledge, from experience, years of riding motorcycles and driving cars and whatnot. So, and it's not to say that I'm not going to have issues myself, as everybody on a motorcycle will, as you saw the other night. So with LEDs during the day. They're bright. That's 3 lights instead of 1 that everybody can pay attention to. And the real difference is, during the day, there's not the same glare that there is at night. I never have received someone flashing their lights at me during the day, or, you know, flashing high beams at me during the day. It's always been at night, so I try not to burn my LEDs at night, unless I'm on a back road by myself somewhere, just because I don't want to blind people. But during the day, I always leave them on, just for visibility. I don't run with my high beams on. Again, my goal isn't to blind people. I don't want to distract their attention from what may be coming up on them, and there's multiple reasons for that. One, when you blind somebody, there's 2 things they do. They either look away, which is bad for you because they're not watching you at all in their peripheral vision, or 2, they tend to stare at the light to see why, you know, it's so bright, or try to determine if it's the bright light or whatever, and which in turn blinds them because it leaves a light spot, which is not good for you either. So that's why I don't use my bright lights. There's also a third reason that Ryan F9 on Fortnite talks about, which has to do with the fact that you have 2 headlights, one being the bright light, one being the dim light. And if your motorcycle uses both lights at the same time when you put on your high beams, you essentially have 2 lights very close together, which can appear to a car at night as either a motorcycle right in front of you or a car in the distance at an angle. And I'm sure you can understand why the second determination would be a bad thing for you. So you want them to know that you're a motorcycle, and you want them to know that you're close. So there's that. Man, it's hot today. Must be getting back up to the low 90s. It's hot, and I wish I was wearing shorts and a t-shirt. I tried to ride for a short stint the other night. I had to run down the street real fast, like just around the corner, and I didn't wear my gloves, and it was such a weird feeling. I almost felt like I didn't have as much control, and I know it's all a matter of what you get used to, but I always wear my gloves, and it's what I'm used to. So it's a weird feeling when you go without them. But I do always ride, pretty much always, with long pants and a jacket, a riding jacket. I've laid a bike down several times in my career of riding, and it's not fun, and every time I was very thankful that I had on long pants and a riding jacket. as well as gloves, because I was very lucky, even though I was at speed many of those times, and that speed's higher than I should have been probably. I made those mistakes and learned from them. And they were pretty much all my mistakes, all my fault mostly. Going too fast for the conditions, trying to do things that were a little beyond my limits at the time probably. Except for my first accident. My first accident on a bike was not my fault. Well, actually it was my fault, but so it's probably my fault for overriding the conditions. But I was in high school and I was on a Nighthawk 450, which is an old cruiser style. I don't know if you guys have seen those before. If I can find a picture, I'll post it. But anyway, it was one of my first bikes, and first street bikes, I mean. And it was in between classes. When I was in high school, I had to go to two different schools, one for vocational classes and one for regular classes. So in the middle of the day, around lunchtime, I basically split and went back to the other school. And at the time, I was riding my Nighthawk to school, so we were in the middle of class and changed classes, and I had to get back to the other school, and it was raining out. It had just started raining, so the streets were at their worst time, with all the oils from the cars seeping up in the water and making it really slick. And I was on a road that was downhill, going through a stoplighted area. There was a pickup truck in front of me that we were probably only going about 40 miles an hour. But the light changed yellow right in front of him. And I was probably the distance I am now. Which is probably a little too close for those road conditions, but it wasn't a fast speed. It was 40 miles an hour probably. And he just locked up on brakes, and I think he slid maybe a couple feet, but he stopped right at the line. And I laid it down. Just laid it down on the side, and myself and the bike slid. Up underneath the back bumper. And I thought I was under there looking up at the bottom of his bumper, and the bike was up under there, and And then all of a sudden the bike started to move, and I realized that he was pulling off. So I guess the light turned green, and he decided he'll get up. So he just went ahead and drove off. I got up, and someone else got out of their car and helped me lift the bike. It's a pretty heavy bike. And I was late for class, but not a big deal. Alright guys, that's enough of that story. I'm at work, so I'll catch you guys later.